My name is Jutta Lenz. I'm originally from Germany, but living also in Switzerland, and I come to South Africa for 38 years. The problem young people in foster homes have to face, because they get financially supported till they are 18, and then is a problem, then they have to leave the foster home. I met this wonderful person, Evelyn, and she is also having older children, but also young children. And we went along so well, and we noticed we have the same vision. That means not only supporting little ones, and because that is, you find a lot of people in the whole world who try to support small kids, but we wanted to do something for the older ones, and she wanted to keep them in her foster home. And then we had both a vision to build houses for them and also look after their education. It happened by chance that I met Rolf Selinger, who is today my project manager. And he said he noticed my vision to build this for the older kids. So that means 15 plus till 23. And he said, "That's fantastic, let's do it." He built the first pallet house for me, made out of ISO pallets. And I built another generation. We came up for the foster homes to try to build houses, also using containers, but extend them with his wooden beam construction. When I met Evelyn, I noticed that we have the same vision. We want to do something for the older kids. And then she was telling me, you know, we also have this property opposite, but I still do not own it. It was promised to me, to one of the housing ministers many years ago. And I said, Evelyn, we should have a look at this. So we became very close friends, because we did not want to do only something for the smaller kids. We had this vision really to build a whole campus. And also Rolf came in and he said, listen, when we build this campus, we must build something sustainable, that they also learn to earn money after they have and also get an education. So we came up with the concept to build homes for them, but also have workshops there. And the next step was that we were building this house beside, where we took just a container. And now we are sitting in a place where we used a 12-meter container, cut it open, and use his wooden beam construction to make, actually here it is a coffee place. So they should use this as a coffee place. And on both sides, the older youngsters can stay and live. And the next step will be opposite of this building. I think it's maybe a 2,000 square meter space, which we finally got 8.5 years. Can you imagine? So it needed a long time, a lot of paperwork. We had to repeat it again, blah, blah, blah. So it was really, really hard. The only problem is now it's in the possession of Abaphumeleli, that we have to build in 2 years. Otherwise, it can happen that we lose the ground again. And therefore, we want to go public and tell people about it, because it's not only about building a new kind of structure of houses, it's also to give these kids a place, these youngsters. Yeah, they are not so small anymore, but also, and to learn and make a living here and make a lively environment. So these places were built by one carpenter, our carpenter, and 2 of the youngsters of the foster home. So actually they also learn to build a house. We have a 2-year deadline for this land, which is quite demanding on us, because we need the funds, we need the money to start. And that was always a problem, you know, because we needed 8.5 years to get the contract, which was crazy, because we even had to repeat all the paperwork. And before I came in, Evelyn was already fighting for 4 years. Now we have got it, and you know, the times are not easy. So this is what we want to do, and it is in a holistic project where they also learn skills like IT, carpenting, or maybe the girls would like to do something in the way of cosmetics or fashion, something. So we are actually open. We also can ask them, or it's also open for other kids from foster homes, of course, because we want to cooperate. We also cooperate with the community. For me, that is very important, that the whole project is highly valued also by the neighborhood and that they are part of it, so we can be sure that we do not have much thefts and things like that. And the demand is actually the 2 years, because if we do not build this this campus, or how we call it, for the youngsters in 2 years, we lose the land. What we need is, of course, funds for that big project. At the moment, because all the material became so expensive, we could not finish this building here. That means we are lacking of the windows, as you can see. We have to finish the floor, and our carpenter could do all the cupboards and also the interior for the coffee shop. That means there would be traffic here, so the kids could earn some money, and with this money they can support also themselves, the foster home, and so these are the things we need. We look actually at 12 million rand, because it will be several homes built together you see, one after the next, including the workshops. So it's quite a big project.
I'm Evelyn Makasi, the founder of Abaphumeleli, a non-profit organization. At present, I've got 32 children. They are here for stay full-time until they're 26 years old, because I can be with them now when they are still small, and when they are grown up, 18 years, like the people of social development say, when a child are 18 years, he must go home or whatever, I don't know where. So I and Yuta plan to do a transmission home for the bigger children, so that my work can be in vain to just let them go and they become street kids again. So it's better for them to be in the transmission home so that they can stand on their own feet and to look after themselves, and to, if they want to go to school to further their studies, they can do that. And I can see them going forward in the way I want them to be. I want them to be something. I don't want just them to brought them up and end up again on streets. That's what I don't want that. That's why we opened the transmission homes for the adults, for the bigger children. My desire for the children is to make them to feel proud of themselves, and not to let them down, and because they are orphans, some of them have parents, but there's no one who can look after them. So, and I want them to be just on a safe place and to be educated. I started in 2003. I was watching TV and I see a boy in Joburg was tied on a tree by the grandmother. And I talk with my late daughter. I tell her, if I were there, I will take that boy and keep that boy until the grandmother comes from her shopping or wherever she's going. And she asked me, why don't you do that here? Because here in Cape Town is children like that too who needs you if you want to do something like that. I didn't think it would be so quick. I was thinking maybe it will be like a long process, because they must first come and see, and then they can bring children. But it wasn't like that. When the social workers come to my house to observe and see if my place is safe, and they see the place is fine, and they said, oh, Mrs. Makasi, your place is good and great and all that. And the room was with beds, and my husband bring beds from his workplace. The small beds, he was working for in English. The people makes the roads, you see, yeah, so they've got many beds, extra beds there. And then he brings for me from that beds, and we just decorate the rooms very beautifully. And so when they get there, the social worker, they see, okay, everything is in place. And they said, okay, Mrs. Makasi, now we see your place and we want you to be registered and you do all the paperwork and all that so that we can be with you full time.
I'm Ralph Seeliger. I'm the CEO of Xtech Systems SA Pty Limited, and I've been associated with this project from initializing it with Dr. Jutta Lenz from the Weller organization, or foundation rather. And so what we have here is a pilot project which I conceptualized together with the Weller Foundation and Abaphumeleli. This project revolves around uplifting skills of young people. We have behind us, we have a structure that we basically designed and built in the last year and a bit. We have in the structure, we've converted a 12-meter container. We've added with my own building system, which is a post and beam system. We work with a lot of upcycling materials, pallets for walls, partition walls, roofs, etc., to give the most cost-effective quality solution in projects like of this nature, which I've always got a budget constraint. So it's a pretty big challenge to fulfill, let's say, the environmental needs and the needs of the actual people that are going to be housed in here. Or what is behind me is a multi-purpose area where we envisage starting off our own learn to earn part of the project. We are envisaging a barista, a small copy print shop here to generate revenue, and to partly allow this project to be self-sustainable going into the future. We've also, in this project, we've basically worked very much with the local community, especially on the supply side. Wherever we can, we use local suppliers. We work together with the hardware company here in Khayalitsha, and they've been really super in terms of bringing in their part of the project. Some of the bigger stuff, obviously, we use some of the mainstream suppliers. So really what we're doing here is showcasing what we can do for young people that would otherwise have to leave Abaphumeleli Home of Safety when they turn 18. We want to skill them up in a lot of different areas, carpentry, for example, bespoke crafts and so on. And we want to work, like with the Cape Design Institute and other organizations that can contribute to upskilling young people that would otherwise just end up back on the street after having this fabulous home for the past 18 years. And I think that would be a crime, on a personal level. And so I've been engaged in the last few years. I've basically changed my focus of our business from being profit driven to upliftment projects. It's the most rewarding for me on a personal level to be involved in this type of upliftment project, and we engaged with other upliftment projects around Cape Town. And so we want to basically showcase this in terms of the upskilling of young people, learning to earn, making it self-sustainable, so that we can drive for further funding for the main project, which is on 3 plots across the road, where we want to establish this on another level. And hopefully out of that we can demonstrate to communities what can be done in terms of upliftment, and engage the communities in that upliftment process, and not just sit back and wait, for a handout, etc. So this project is very much focused on a hand up, and the more support we can get from community in this type of project, and not just here in Khayalitsha, but in many areas around Cape Town metropolitan areas and so on, we can do this on a collaborative, collective basis.